Good evening and welcome to your Monday, March 11 edition of the Evening News. In the headlines this evening, CARICOM agrees with stakeholders on interim presidential council to replace PM Henry. Construction of New Hope Canal replica to start in 3 months, says President Ali. JAGDEO warns parties looking to challenge PPP at 2025 polls to come right. 26-year-old biker dies after crashing into trailer at MacDoom. National Assembly will not intervene in private political arrangement. And government remains committed to supporting Venezuelan migrants, says Minister TODD. With the news in detail, I am Jemima Holmes. Coming out of crucial talks among Caribbean community heads in Jamaica on how to return Haiti to a state of normalcy, the regional bloc has announced that a presidential council will be established to guide Haiti towards elections and the restoration of order. This announcement was made by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley when she addressed the media at a press conference following talks this afternoon. She said that 80 to 90% of the proposals put on the table were agreed to by the stakeholders. This includes an agreement for the establishment of a presidential council, which would help identify an interim prime minister. Further, Mottley explained that this prime minister would work with the presidential council to establish a government. Additionally, a provisional electoral council would be established as a critical institution. When it comes to the rapidly declining security situation in Haiti, the Barbados prime minister said all stakeholders agreed on the need to urgently contain this crisis. Further, she said that the establishment of the presidential council would be critical to achieving this aim. Meanwhile, Mottley noted that as a regional community, CARICOM has agreed with its international partners on 4 principles. These include that persons on the presidential council should not run in any future elections in Haiti. Here is Gerald Bryan once again, this time to report that the New Hope Canal replica in Region 6 is among the many projects the government is rolling out which will transform communities and benefit ordinary residents, according to President Dr. Irfan Ali. Work on this transformative project will start in 3 months. Here are the details.
During the commemoration of PPP founder and former President Dr. Cheddi Jagan on Sunday, President Dr. Irfan Ali laid out to the attendees how the government is improving their lives through investments. The President urged the crowd at Babujan, Port Morant, to look at the infrastructure being built, including the Hope Light Canal, which will help secure them against flooding.
When we build a new canal, the Hope Light Canal, which will start in another 3 months, when we do this, the risk of flooding will reduce by 60% in this region. When the risk of flooding reduces by 60%, the risk for financing your project becomes lower with the bank. And if the risk becomes lower, the access to financing becomes easier. But much more importantly, when the risk to the damage by flooding is reduced, the value of our land increases.
The Guyanese head of state also referenced the development being done at Palmyra. This includes housing projects, hotels, a stadium, and a hospital. According to the president, these billions of dollars worth of investments will transform communities and increase property values.
If you go to a community 4 years ago that had no roads, and today we have roads, a road network in that community. At an average, the value of every property in that community will go up by at least 25%. When that value goes up, what happens? What happens? Your net value as a family goes up. Instead of having a house that 4 years ago was worth $4 million, you now have a house that is worth almost $5.5 million. That is how you build social and economic justice. You invest to transfer value, to create wealth, to transfer wealth.
In addition, Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd reinforced that the PPP's approach to development remains a people-centered one. This, he noted, is in line with party founder Dr. Cheddi Jagan's principles.
This political party, this political organization, your People's Progressive Party 7, has remained true to the values and principles of the founding father of the only political party that has ever been committed to the people of this country. He taught us that development was not only anchored based on foreign investment or foreign capital. He taught us that development should be people-centered, people-driven, and people-focused. He taught us that we should invest in our human resource, building a human capital with the requisite skills to move a Guyana that is independent, free, and committed to the development of every single Guyanese.
Jar O'Brien, The Evening News.
With the 2025 general and regional elections approaching, General Secretary of the PPPC on Sunday warned those parties who are seeking to challenge the ruling government to come right. More in this report.
The Vice President addressed a mammoth crowd at Babu Jan, Port Morant in Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine on Sunday, where the party gathered to commemorate its founder and former president, Dr. Chedi Jagan. JAGDEO, who's also the General Secretary of the PPPC, related that any party looking to challenge the PPPC next year can make any kind of promise like the ones the APNU AFC once made and then broke before and after 2015. As such, he urged the crowd to remember the importance of looking at a party's program and also had a message for these parties going into the polls.
What's the only thing that you can believe in a party? It's not how people look who run the party. It's not how they look, their ethnicity, etc. It is their program. Not just how much they can promise, because everybody could promise. Glenn Lau could promise you the moon and the star. You got all kinds of, some who are trying to challenge us, but they better be cautious. They gotta come right. Because it's a free country politically, but they may have interpreted our being quiet as a sign of weakness. It's not so. When the right time comes, we deal with them.
JAGDEO also encouraged Guyanese to look at and compare the parties' respective programs and track records.
Is it the promise that you judge a party by, or by its delivery on the promises? APNU made promises in 2015, everything under the sun. They would clean up corruption. They ended up 3 years, did not submit their statements to the Integrity Commission. Now we have charged several APNU ministers.
According to the Vice President, all must benefit under their program for the country to see progress.
This country can never develop fully, can never meet its full potential unless all of the people benefit from the progress. That is people of every race, every religion.
While general and regional elections are expected to be held in March 2025, the ruling PPP is adamant about taking back the 5 months that were taken from their rule after the APNU AFC held the country hostage for 5 months. This is Michelle Henry, reporting for The Evening News.
Here now is Rupesine Ryan, who reports that a young biker and businessman lost his life on Sunday evening after he crashed into a trailer at MacDoom, Greater Georgetown.
The dead man has been identified as 26-year-old Domal Trim of Bel Air Village, Georgetown. The accident reportedly occurred at about 21 hours 35 in the vicinity of the Guyana Shore Base, Gisby. The accident involved Trim, who was riding his motorcycle, and motor lorry bearing registration number GAE 2805, owned by the Guyana Shore Base, and was at the time being driven by a 24-year-old man. Preliminary investigations stated that the motor lorry was proceeding east on Rome Access Road with the intent of crossing the Magdoom Public Road. As the lorry approached the highway, a traffic rank who was at the junction stopped all vehicles proceeding south and north, after which he gave the driver the green light to proceed. However, while the lorry was crossing the roadway, a group of motorcyclists, including Trim, were proceeding south. The group of cyclists reportedly overtook a line of traffic, and in the process, Trim's motorcycle collided with the rear portion of the motor lorry, thus causing him to fall onto the road surface. He and the bike skidded and ended up into the rear right side wheel of the lorry. As a result of the collision, the motorcyclist sustained injuries to his body. He was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. At his family's residence, his sister Takesha Trim shared that she was awakened by the news that her brother was involved in an accident. Without hesitation, she rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where her brother was unresponsive.
I tried to make a few phone calls to find out which hospital, and then I heard it was Georgetown. So I immediately went down the road, and when I got there, I saw my brother lying on the bed and the doctors around him just trying to work on him.
According to Takesha, her brother was an avid lover of bikes but also worked as a supervisor for a construction company. At the time of the accident, he was returning home after spending time with friends in Region 3.
He was my right hand. Everybody knows the type of relationship that we had, that we shared, you know. He was my go-to person. He loved biking, he lived for biking, he lived his life. Biking was his thing, a passion. He don't even have that bike that long to see.
The body is currently at the Georgetown Public Hospital's mortuary. Police are continuing their investigation and also analyzing CCTV footage of the crash. The driver of the lorry remains in custody. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Let's now tell you the talks between the Education Ministry and the Guyana Teachers Union will resume on Tuesday, and the union is expected to forge ahead with the pressing issue of salary increases from 2019 to 2023. At the last meeting, the Education Ministry's proposed figure for salary increases was not accepted by the Teachers Union, which contends that the increase put forward was below par. At Tuesday's meeting, the government will present a new percentage for the period proposed, along with clothing allowance, the 2% difference for 2017 and 2019, and the Whitley Council moving to 3 years. Nevertheless, some of the issues identified by the ministry are teacher absenteeism and punctuality, poor performing schools, continuous professional education, and completion of syllabi. The GTU had made 41 demands in a multi-year agreement it proposed to the Education Ministry, which has since fulfilled 25 of those requests. Of the 16 remaining proposals, 2 are specifically for the benefit of only GTU and its executive members, while 2 others are contrary to the laws of Guyana, and the other 12 are currently under consideration. Coming up on the other side of the break, National Assembly will not intervene in private political arrangements, and government remains committed to supporting Venezuelan migrants, says Minister TODD. More news at the end of this short break.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Prima Decor, stock the finest in the country. Both ceramic and porcelain. Tiles and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well-trained staff and warming halls make your shopping smooth and calm, providing you with quality to match your style that's so unique.
Are you having sore throat, fever, coughing, headache, or runny nose? Take Cetamol Cold and Flu day or night. Ask your pharmacist for Cetamol Cold and Flu and get back to the happier you.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Are you having sore throat, fever, coughing, headache, or runny nose? Take Cetamol Cold and Flu day or night. Ask your pharmacist for Cetamol Cold and Flu and get back to the happier you.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvies has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in INTERIM, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
There is a reason why TVG Channel 28 is Guyana's #1 television station. We are the home of one of the nation's most watched television newscasts, The Evening News, with an unmatched national reach, the best in children's content, music, movies, and daily soaps. We plan with the viewer at heart. In partnership with cable provider Northwest TV Incorporated, we reach as far as Port Kaituma in Region 1, as well as from Charity to Supanam in Region 2, among other hard-to-reach interior regions. As such, we can guarantee the highest value for advertisers. To advertise with us, contact our marketing department on telephone numbers 231-0544 or 223-7230 or email us at marketing@guyanatimesgy.com for more information on affordable packages.
TVG Channel 28, wholesome family entertainment.
Sati, you wash clothes early, man?
Yes, girl, and me done cook too. But wait, you not supposed to go to work today?
Today I'm a day off, but me really study my brother. He has stressed himself out at work. Them not promoting years now.
Oh, maybe remember you not tell me the story. You know what me feel? Me feel that is discrimination. Nikki, you should really call ERC.
Call ERC? You could do that?
Yes, girl.
Do you know that if you or anyone in any way or form feels discriminated against, complaints can be made to the ERC? Complaints are received from organizations and individuals by letters, telephone calls, or walk-in process. You can also visit the website or download my ERC app to send complaint. The complaint is acknowledged or accepted. A complaint form is given to the complainant to complete and sign. This will now give the investigative officer the authority to investigate the case. The complainant and the party or parties involved will be interviewed by an investigative officer from the commission.
Well, now I know.
Nikki, where all the smoke come from?
Smoke? Oh, lad, my pata bun.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're joined by Trishelle Sobers, who reports that the National Assembly of Guyana will not intervene in any private political arrangements between joiner parties. These were sentiments of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, when quizzed about the leader of the new movement, Dr. Asha Kissoon, holding on to a parliamentary seat.
The ANU and United Guyana Party, ANUG, recently issued a call for the Member of Parliament, Dr. Asha Kissoon, to resign from her post, thus making way for a new representative. According to the Joinder List Memorandum of Understanding MOU, given the 244 votes garnered during the 2020 general and regional elections, TNM, it was entitled to occupy the seat for 91 days. However, TNM provided Dr. Kissoon with an opportunity to represent her constituents, but ANUG is now indicating that her actions are undemocratic and a breach of trust. She was expected to resign in November 2023. However, in response to this political dilemma, the Speaker of the National Assembly has made it clear that his role is not to adjudicate or apply pressure on any political agreements made outside Parliament chambers. Therefore, the two parties will have to resolve the issue independently.
When there is a vacancy in the National Assembly, if that vacancy is by resignation, the resignation comes to the Speaker, and the Speaker calls upon the representative of the list to name a replacement. Our role as Speaker is not to adjudicate, not to pressure whatever private arrangement happens outside of the Parliament.
Nadir added that when the matter is settled, the National Assembly will ensure that the necessary protocols stipulated by Guyana's constitution are exercised.
When that is done, that name goes to the Elections Commission to verify that the person was one of the candidates on that list and qualified to sit in the National Assembly. Once that check is done, then GCOM would inform us that this person is now a duly elected member of Parliament.
That seat was occupied by Dr. Kissoon, who was sworn in as a Member of Parliament in April 2023. Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs, last week indicated that Parliament did not have the power to remove Dr. Kissoon. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Hugh Todd reiterated on Friday that the policy of the government of Guyana remains intact as it relates to support for the Venezuelan migrants. He made this announcement during a meeting of the Multi-Agency Coordinating Committee, which he chaired to address the influx of Venezuelan migrants into Guyana. He noted that the long-term objective is to integrate them into Guyanese society, but in the meantime, the respective agencies are tasked with combining resources to provide services in key areas such as healthcare, education, labor, sanitation, shelter, food, and clothing for the most vulnerable. The first committee meeting for the year was attended by the relevant government stakeholders and international partners who collectively set the agenda in principle for the committee to continue its work about providing the necessary humanitarian assistance to those migrants, including returning Guyanese fleeing the economic hardships in Venezuela. Meanwhile, he tasked the committee to organize another outreach activity at the earliest possible opportunity, which will be undertaken in Region 1 on this occasion as a result of the high concentration of migrants from Venezuela. As part of the government's agenda for the modernization of Guyana's legal framework, the concept of restorative justice is gradually taking center stage. This point was made by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal, who contends that building the country's restorative justice system is a major priority for this government. Here are the details from Trishelle Sobers.
On Monday, the first cohort of citizens began training to become practitioners with responsibilities similar to those of probation officers, but with an expanded focus on resolving issues outside the court system. The training, held in collaboration with the Attorney General's Chambers and the Canadian High Commission, will last for the next 2 weeks, and the 25 participants drawn from the country will be trained to effectively engage victims, offenders, and community leaders for a more holistic approach to addressing crime. Upon completion of the program, the practitioners will receive certificates that qualify them to implement the doctrine in their communities and social environs. During his remarks to the gathering, the Attorney General explained that the restorative justice is now part of Guyana's justice institution, legal and social sector. On this point, he disclosed that the system will help to reduce the heavy workload of magistrates across the country, and indicated that more persons will be trained.
We have trained all the two shells, this current set and many others before. In almost all the regions, or most of the regions, we have trained the religious leaders and other persons considered influential and leadership materials. We will continue to train people, even if you are incorporated formally in the system or not. Your knowledge of restorative justice will serve you well in your community.
Nandalal added that the government will also be incorporating restorative justice systems into the Hope and Justice centers that are being built across the country.
We already have historically a relationship between the administration of justice, the judiciary, and the magistracy. We are going to capitalize on that relationship.
Restorative justice is a system of providing justice to persons through consultation between a victim, perpetrator, and community member without imprisonment or non-violent crimes. Restorative justice is an alternative approach that seeks to repair harm by providing opportunities for the victim and perpetrator to discuss and address their needs in the aftermath, in a way that promotes healing, accountability, and understanding. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Despite the paddy bug infestation currently affecting many quarantine rice farmers, they are reporting excellent yields for this current crop. Andrew Carmichael reports.
Currently, the spring crop is being harvested across Region 6. As of last Wednesday, a total of 17,218 acres of rice had been harvested, with farmers reporting an average of 49 bags per acre. This is according to Region 6 Chairman David Armagon, who stated that the Agriculture Ministry has engaged scientists and others who are knowledgeable about the paddy bug to develop a strategy to control the current paddy bug infestation.
It is not only localized to Berbice and to Region 6, but it is also right across the country. Right, the Minister of Agriculture is aware of it. He was here last Saturday and he was able to address farmers in many areas, and he has assured them that the ministry is working overtime to ensure that they can control the paddy bug situation.
During the recent Regional Democratic Council statutory meeting, the regional chairman pointed out that the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA, did not utilize funds to repair access dams for farmers to bring out their paddy from the fields. This, he noted, is due to the current dry conditions.
If you drive around the place, you will see that virtually all the canals and outfalls are blocked up. And if the rains come down suddenly on us, we might find ourselves in some difficulty, because then we might hardly got to go and do all these outfalls again to make sure that we can have proper drainage.
The chairman further pointed out that they would have to wait on the rains before work could be done on outfalls.
If you dig now, and 2 weeks after, you got back the same siltation again. You can't be digging every 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, the chairman told the RDC that there continues to be a rift between rice and cattle farmers.
If you notice, cattle is suffering badly these days, because if you drive around the place too, you will see in the cattle, they're really, these bones, a lot of them looking like bones, they're just bones on the skin. There's hardly any flesh, because of the fact that grazing is becoming a big problem.
Armagon also added that the Ministry of Agriculture has been issuing molasses to animal farmers. Each farm, he says, is allotted 5 gallons. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 4 hours for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 5 hours 25 on Tuesday, March 12, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
Trinidad pips Guyana for inaugural CARICOM chess title. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville. Need quality electrical or hardware supplies for domestic, commercial, and industrial usage? Visit SPR Enterprise. We stock a wide variety of tools, transformers, connectors, cables, line hardware, and control products at competitive prices. Check us out for brands such as Square D, Eaton, Fluke, Klein, and 3M. We are located at 45 Brick Dam, Georgetown, or call us on 223-5699, 223-5687, or WhatsApp 639-7193. SPR Enterprise, your single source for quality electrical products.
Experience more than award-winning speed. Way more. Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
It's a new day with Shilling Oil. A unique blend of natural oils to help ease and soothe the day-to-day discomforts of life. Get relief from muscle and joint pain, headaches, and congestion. Shilling Oil lets you get back to the things you love doing most. Water relief with Shilling Oil. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the